Hey there, and welcome back. So let's talk about a classic holiday dilemma. You've got this beautiful panettone, but it's left over. Well, we're not just going to use it up. Oh no, we're going to turn it into something absolutely show-stopping, a truly luxurious pudding. You ready? You know the scene, right? The holidays are over, the decorations are coming down, and sitting on the counter is that box of panettone. Maybe it's a little dry, a little past its best. It feels like such a waste to throw it out, but what do you even do with it? Well, you've come to the right place.
See, the goal here isn't just about being frugal or, just finding a use for it. We're on a mission to completely transform it. We're talking rich, decadent, and seriously unforgettable. Think bread and butter pudding, but on a whole other level. And it all begins with the right ingredients.
All right, let's kick things off with the essentials, the ingredients. Every single thing on this list has a part to play in making this pudding absolutely perfect. So let's take a quick look at our lineup. So let's break down our team of ingredients. First, you got the star of the show, the panettone itself. Along with butter and maybe some marmalade, that's our flavor foundation. Then you have what I like to call the heart of the dish, this beautiful, rich custard made from milk, cream, eggs, and sugar. This is what's going to soak into every last bit of that bread. And finally, our secret weapon for that amazing texture, demerara sugar. Trust me, it makes all the difference for that crunchy top. Okay, ingredients are sorted, now let's get into the prep. And listen, how we handle the panettone right now is, well, it's everything. This is where we build the foundation for that perfect texture and flavor in every single spoonful. First things first, and this is non-negotiable, get that oven preheating. We're going for 180 degrees Celsius, that's 350 Fahrenheit. You want the oven ready and waiting so the pudding starts baking perfectly the second it goes in. Seriously, don't skip this step. All right, now for the fun bit. Grab your panettone slices and give them a good spread of softened butter. And if you want a little extra something, a thin layer of orange marmalade adds this amazing zesty kick. Then just start layering them into your dish. You want to get them all snug in there, overlapping a little bit. That layering is the secret, you see. It creates these incredible pockets of soft, custardy goodness right next to those crispy, buttery edges that get all golden and delicious in the oven. Okay, our panettone is all tucked in and ready to go. Now it's time to make the absolute soul of this dessert, the custard. And this isn't just any old custard. This is the rich, creamy, flavorful liquid gold that's going to tie everything together. So, the process is pretty straightforward. You start by gently warming up your milk and cream. And here's a little pro tip. Warming the dairy first really helps that slightly dry panettone soak up the custard way more effectively. It's like opening up a sponge, really. While that's happening, you just whisk together your eggs, sugar, zest, and vanilla. And then comes the most important step of all, bringing the two together. And this brings us to a really key technique. It's called tempering. So what on earth is that? Well, it's simply the act of very slowly pouring that warm milk mixture into your eggs while you are whisking like crazy. It might sound a bit fussy, but believe me, there is a very, very good reason we do this. And here's why this is such a crucial step. By adding the hot liquid slowly, you gently bring the temperature of the eggs up without cooking them. If you just dumped it all in at once, disaster. You'd get sweet scrambled eggs, not the silky smooth custard we're aiming for. Tempering, my friends, is the secret to that perfect, luxurious texture. Don't skip it. And this is where you can really start to play around and make this recipe your own. We mentioned the orange marmalade, right? But what about stirring a couple of tablespoons of a nice dark rum or brandy into the custard? It adds this amazing, warm, boozy note. And seriously, don't be shy with that citrus zest. It just cuts through all that richness beautifully. All right, our panettone is layered, our custard is silky smooth. Now it's time to bring it all together for the final assembly. This is where the magic really starts to happen, as that bread soaks up all that incredible flavor before it heads into the oven for its big transformation. So you're going to gently pour that beautiful custard all over your layered panettone. The trick here is to be thorough. You want to get into every nook and cranny, making sure every single piece is covered. I even like to gently press down on the bread a little bit, just to encourage it to drink up all of that liquid gold. And now we wait. And this part is a little test of your patience, but it's so worth it. You need to let this pudding sit and soak for at least 30 minutes at room temperature. That's the bare minimum for the panettone to really absorb that custard and become unbelievably moist and delicious. But if you want to take this pudding from good to absolutely incredible, here's the pro move.
While 30 minutes works, the best result, hands down, comes from covering it and letting it chill in the fridge overnight. This gives it maximum time to soak, creating a dessert that's even richer, more custardy, and just, well, it's a total game changer.
Okay, just before this beauty heads into the oven, we have one final, crucial touch. We're going to sprinkle the top generously with demerara sugar. Now, because this is a coarse sugar, it won't totally dissolve. Instead, it's going to caramelize and create this amazing, crispy, crunchy crust on top. It's the perfect textural contrast to that soft, wobbly pudding underneath.
And into the hot oven it goes for about 30 to 40 minutes. What you're looking for is a gorgeous golden brown top. And when you give the dish a little nudge, the custard should be mostly set, but with just a little bit of a wobble right in the center. That wobble is your friend. It means the custard is perfectly cooked and creamy, not overdone and dry. Once it's out, just let it rest for 5 or 10 minutes. It helps everything settle down and finish setting up.
Okay, the pudding is baked, it's had a little rest, and your entire kitchen probably smells absolutely divine right now. So let's talk about the grand finale. How to serve this masterpiece and make it a truly unforgettable experience. You have so many great options here. A simple dusting of icing sugar is always beautiful. For pure classic indulgence, you absolutely cannot go wrong with a big scoop of vanilla ice cream melting on top, or maybe just a pour of heavy cream. But if you want something to cut through all that delicious richness, a sharp, tart raspberry coulis is an absolutely perfect pairing.
And just like that, you've taken holiday leftovers and turned them into pure luxury. It's rich, it's comforting, it's absolutely delicious. So the only real question left is, are you ready to transform your leftovers